collectivity doesn't mean that we all should be stuck together with some glue or something, or we all become like Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar. No, it doesn't mean that. It means wherever you are connected. That is collectivity. But if you are not connected and you are just glued together, it's very inconvenient to live under such circumstances. I think people don't even understand the meaning of collectivity. Where there's not the other, ananya, where there's not the other, there's no other personality. These personalities are separated from you because of left and right, or could be both. But you are yourself fully when you are absolutely detached and your Kundalini is dancing. You are alone and never alone. This oneness with the whole gives you all the security that you want, all the joy you want. And that's why Kundalini awakening means collectivity. Unless and until you want pure collectivity in your being, Kundalini won't rise. So now, let us see how do we miss out on collectivity. It's a very practical, down-to-earth understanding. First, we must know without collectivity we cannot exist. As the body has to be in connection with the brain, in the same way, without collectivity, Sahaja Yoga cannot exist. Once you understand that, then you have to work it out that collectivity is absolutely established within and without. I do not know what thing comes first in the human mind about another person. But the first thing is that these are your real relations. And nobody else are your relations. These children are your children, and these men are your brothers, and these ladies are your sisters, and we are one big family together. We are part and parcel of one body. As this hand cannot hit another hand, thank God it doesn't think. Otherwise, as human beings, they might start thinking against another hand. But they don't, because they are connected to one brain activity. So, we can see that when we ascend in the collective consciousness, and we have collective living, collective meeting, at the Vishuddhi Chakra, Sri Krishna established this, or he manifested this pure relationship of a sister. In a collective life that we have, in the ashram where we live, where we move about at Sajogis, if we do not have this basic principle within us, there will be a chaos, complete chaos. Once this purity of relationship is established, that apart from my wife, all the rest are my sisters or mothers. It cannot be a proper society. And the chaos of the social system of America is because they have no sense of pure relationships. Once you call somebody a sister, she's a sister. And once you call somebody a brother, she's a brother. It's not only that you should be born of the same parents. It's not necessary. But this is a very important principle to have a very pure society where everybody can live peacefully. Think of the tree which is, say, in a turmoil or during earthquake. It won't grow. When the earthquake stops, everything becomes quiet, everything is peaceful, then only the tree can grow. In the same way, our growth can only take place if we are peaceful within ourselves. So, for a Kundalini growing wider and wider and rising higher and higher, first thing is we must have peace within ourselves. But this peace is possible if you can make really peace with others. If you cannot make peace with others who are in Sahaja, who are in the collective, if you are in a turmoil, this Kundalini can never rise. That is why collectivity is so important. Without collectivity, your Vishuddhi cannot open. And without collectivity, you cannot have the growth of your spirituality. If the growth of the spirituality, as they say, the tree of life is upside down and the roots are in the brain. And this Kundalini has to go and water that brain. As we water the roots, then it starts flowing downward. And that's how we start expanding. Now, Mother has said we have to have compassion. Now, where do you have our compassion? On the walls, where do we use our compassion? Where do we use our compassion? So, Sahaja Yoga is to be practiced, doesn't mean that you sit down with my photograph all the time. It doesn't mean that. It means you practice compassion. You practice that. Then you have to practice love. Now, how do you practice love with others? If you love someone, what do? You try to please that person. Small things can make people very happy. I know you all try to please me very much. You'll give me presents, you'll find out things which are good for me, you'll go out of the way, buy sweet flowers for me. Beautiful things you do to please me. I am over pleased, I must tell you. But I am more pleased, much more pleased, if you understand collectivity and try to please each other. So now the practice love, where do you practice? Ask your question. Where do I practice love? What do I love? We love our house, we love our photographs, our decorations, everything. But do I practice this love on my wife or on my husband or on other surgeries? In our Sahaj culture, we have to practice compassion and love. And thirdly, we have to practice patience. I know some children are maybe little more mischievous, some are less mischievous. Maybe some people are very talkative. Sometimes really they give me also a headache. They go on talking so much. Sometimes I think it's good because it's a rest for my mouth. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is just switch off your mind, let him talk, take it out, whatever he wants to talk. Once he is finished with it and fagged out, then he won't bother you much. And also he'll feel satisfied that somebody has listened to his prattles. So patience is needed. And patience is needed in such a way that others should see your patience. Yesterday, for example, I was sitting for about, I think, 3 hours shaking hands with all sorts of people and all types of problems. And the person who came last, he said, looking at your patience, I developed my own patience. And love gives you patience. This love nourishes you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely down to earth method. Here I have not mentioned that you trust God. I'm just saying trust yourself. Absolutely down to earth, because we are talking about your brain. So today's understanding should be that we all should become collective from inside. We should not grudge or grumble about life and enjoy the collectivity. But the second side of collectivity is this, that do not try to exploit the collectivity. Otherwise you'll be in trouble. Like I've seen some people don't know how to use their bathrooms. When you are collective, you have to be respecting the collectivity of others. By your presence, another person should not by any chance suffer, or should not feel in any way insulted or inconvenienced. So when you are in the collective, it should be such that another person should enjoy your company, enjoy your being there. That's something where there is no problem. But if you are demanding and if you are asking for things and you think no end of yourself, you cannot at all collective by any chance, but you will suffer for that. Automatically you will suffer. If this is realized and understood properly, your agya is solved. Like anger. People always boast, I'm very angry with you. Boast. But just make that anger into forgiveness. And you'll see the person, instead of you getting into problems, he will get into problems. Anger will upset you, but forgiveness will upset him automatically. It's the biggest weapon you have got is to forgive. And this is shown in Buddha's character throughout. Now we have been saying that we have to forgive everyone. But we don't practice that. Small things like mad people we remember. Only I had heard that snake has this capacity to remember if somebody has hurt him. But here I find human beings have no less capacity. Whatever has happened 13 years back, 15 years back, they all remember each and everything. Whatever has hurt them. But how they have hurt others, they don't remember. How they have been nasty to others, don't remember. Because this is a human mind which has got the ego. It can go on hurting others, it doesn't feel anything. And the superego which goes on receiving all the hurts and always complaining about it. Don't criticize the collectivity till I myself find it out and I'll put it right. Keep to the collectivity wisely and earnestly and try to keep the collectivity together. Try to help to keep the people collective, to enjoy together. Don't criticize each other. Only criticize yourself if you are in the habit of criticism. Better criticize yourself is better, because these are habits also. People, especially I have seen people in the West,